Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5? Yes, episode 5 of Relatable Catholic. And Katie works hard, but the devil works harder because I bought a special microphone for our special guest today, and the microphone didn't work, but we made it work. So, introducing our special guest.
This is Father Andy, pastor of St. Joseph Bellevue and St. Peter and Paul Springbrook and St. Catherine and St. Donatus, and also the pastoral coordinator of Marquette.
So just a few things on his to-do list.
Just a few things I do. Yep.
Yeah.
So happy to be here with you today.
By far, our most requested guest.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
No pressure.
None taken.
So if Angie and I sound weird, it's because we are like
And we're so close. We're
sitting on each other's.
It's really awkward.
We're like sitting on each other's laps.
They're sharing one microphone, and I have one myself. And across the table, it's kind of like an interrogation.
It is
So
kind of, yes. Well, we've got some really tough questions.
Got some tough questions here today. Were these the questions that were requested too?
No, these are questions that I Googled.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Most of
thought,
them,
lot of thought.
Yeah, a lot of thought put into it. Most of them were like dating sites, so I got rid of a lot of those. The first one was like, who's your celebrity crush? And I was like, oh, we don't need to know that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
But
for
I
that.
did.
that
And then,
question.
Yeah. But then when you look up like questions to ask a Catholic priest, they're just like too deep for now.
For this episode.
For now, yeah. You gotta talk into the microphone.
Episode too deep for this episode.
Yeah, because I saw your show prep, and you had a pretty good show prep for other things. And I thought, well, one of those things could be fine, any of those. And I was almost going to bring a Bible in case you want to talk about Lectio Divina or something like that.
My very official list that I thought of in Mass on Saturday night before Mass started.
Holy Spirit.
Not during.
I was going to say the homily wasn't that good. So
Not during. No, it was before. But anyway, so how is everybody? We are recording on the coldest day of the year, which is a very exciting day.
it's like a snow day, but not.
Yeah, even better. I didn't have to shovel.
Yeah, because snow is the worst.
Well, see, I did fall into that one.
You did.
I did fall into that one. But I wouldn't want to shovel when it's negative 30 outside.
And there were some people that like snow. So
You counted me as a like.
Yes.
Even though I don't like it that much.
Well, we are in like the later winter where like a lot of people like don't like snow by the end of winter. Even I
Sure.
get sick of snow, but
Okay, let's.
not this year. We haven't had any. But what is so exciting about it is that there was no school today.
whoop whoop.
Yes.
And that's where we're
Those
recording.
are the best days.
And that's why we are recording today. So God really, truly does know what we needed. And he knew that I needed a day off.
Good.
So Chris is on a trip. And every time Angie's husband goes on a trip, something weird happens. Like somebody always goes to the hospital or the doctor or acute care, emergency room that one time with Ellie. Yeah. So Chris is out of town. So I called it last night or whenever that was. I said, so something crazy is going to happen. And Angie can tell you what happened this morning.
Yeah, so it wasn't too crazy. And I did think maybe we would be okay because we all had, not all of us, some of us had strep throat last week. So we had already gone through like a round of illness. So I thought maybe we would dodge any issues. But yes, Chris is gone. So the weird thing that happened, Eliana yesterday had a toothache and on and off again. She'd mentioned her tooth hurt, and then by bedtime, it really hurt. So we were doing the Tylenol, whatever. She was up most of the night with tooth pain, and today we got to go to the dentist, and she had her tooth extracted. So Ellie does not do awesome at the doctor's. I've sent apology cookie cakes to doctor offices before. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice.
She had an ingrown toenail once. And by the time we were done, like the whole office was closed. The lights were off. There were no receptionists there. And the doctor, in the most loving way, did let me know that she was his second worst patient in his 30-year career. He said she comes in so cute with those pigtails and smiling, and she is very strong. And if she is scared, that girl is scared. So I sent a cookie cake to that team the next week. What did it say? Sorry, I was totally awful. Totally. You get it. Yeah. Yeah.
get it.
Podiatrist.
Okay.
So yes, Bellevue Dentistry might be getting a cookie cake sent their way after today's escapades. But yeah, so Chris is gone, and that was our mishap. So hopefully, if that's the only thing, that wouldn't be too bad.
Do you think there's some relationship between like an emotional kind of distressing sort of thing and getting sick?
Maybe.
I mean, so my nephew yesterday, he was complaining about like chest pain and different things, and but it's all been since I was on vacation with his parents, with my sister and her husband a couple weeks ago, and like he was so like anxious about it, like he was sure that the plane was going to go down, right? And my sister had never flown in like the time that he's been alive, like so she had left him at home with friends and family and whatever, but he was so scared about it that it got his little heart worked up so much, and now like he's got this ton of anxiety about like, but it's still like affecting him, like his body. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to resolve, but I just wonder, like, it just seemed to kind of set off like whatever is going on physically, is kind of set off emotionally by that stress he was under by his parents going on vacation.
The poor honey. That's the little sweetie.
And your kids, missing dad, right?
I think we are just terrible toothbrushing brushers, maybe with this tooth. But
that could be too.
yes, they probably are missing dad too, for sure.
Nothing is worse. The first time Chris left after Bella was born, she was what, 3 months?
8 weeks, maybe?
She was a baby. Baby.
Good little baby.
And
Great baby.
yes, Chris left on. And Chris doesn't just like leave. He does. He goes to work trips. He's not like he's like going gambling. He goes on work trips, and this first one, Bella developed a colic, like a crying colic, or whatever it's called. She got colicky, and she cried for 6 months after that, like nonstop. It was terrible.
And we would sing the Lion King. Which one? The one where Simba goes up there.
Just hold her in the air and she'd just cry. Oh, we should find the picture of her on her baptism day. She's like
not very happy because that's all she did. She cried all day long.
Yeah.
So that happened when Chris left. I'm trying to think. Ellie got a spinal tap the one time when he left. Yeah, she got real sick.
So, since we have Father Andy here today, we thought that we would ask some serious questions. Not all of them are serious, but just like a get to know you,
Okay, all right.
So, okay, the first one is, did you grow up Catholic?
Yes.
Easy.
Done.
Okay, and then the next
Practicing Catholic?
Yeah, we'd go to mass every Sunday, and that was always priority over hunting or whatever was going on. 4-H fair, we were going to mass. Like it was no questions. We were going to mass. We would pray before meals, and we went to religious education. So I didn't have Catholic school. Mm-hmm. So the nearest Catholic school is like 45 minutes away for me. So that just wasn't an option. So that was the kind of Catholics we were growing up.
I'd say we were really similar.
Yeah,
Our families
turned out like
like growing up, not now. The next one, when and why did you become a priest?
So how long of an answer do you want?
As long as you want.
Wherever the Holy Spirit
Yeah,
leads
let
you.
the Holy Spirit take it. You go.
So grew up Catholic, like I said, and then I went to college, and in college went from having like a good Catholic support system, like my a lot of family, a lot of friends that were Catholic, to like no Catholic, like very few Catholic.
Where did you go to college?
Buena Vista, Storm Lake. So I was. It was harder to go to church on your own and without friends, without support that way. And then I got a roommate my sophomore year who didn't really like the Catholic Church, and he was really just like kind of just argumentative about it. I talked to him recently, and he was basically like, I knew a lot growing up. Like I was studying a lot of the Bible and everything, and I really just generally wanted to know, so I didn't know if he was argumentative all the time or if it was just the genuineness. Anyway, I kind of came to this point where it didn't really matter where I went to church at. It just mattered that I believed in Jesus. Just that simple belief in Jesus was enough to get to heaven. It's like, well, that's kind of all I'm about is trying to get to heaven, right? You talked about this with your own family, right?
Goal heaven.
And goal heaven.
What a good listener, Father. That's your point.
Well, that was my end goal too. That was my end goal too, is heaven. And so like the very minimum thing is believe in Jesus. Okay, so kind of stopped going to Catholic mass at that point. So like kind of sophomore year, and just started dating someone about that same time that she didn't grow up with any faith, and she was like, I do not want to go to Catholic church because I can't receive communion. Okay, well, we can go other places. And we did. And I was going to get married in a Lutheran church back in 2005. Broke that off before before the wedding. And then at that point, I was still like, it doesn't really matter. About 2007, I went to a men's conference, and at the conference, the keynote speaker said, he talked about confession and scripture. About confession and the Eucharist straight from scripture. And I was like, wow, this stuff is in here? Like, this is in the Bible, and like, I've just never seen it. I'd never noticed, because all these other churches I've been going to, they all believe in the Bible, but how does they not like how do they miss this? Well, I'm like, well, I've missed a lot, clearly. So I have to read the Bible. I have to learn more about my own faith. And I kept learning more and more about my own faith. And I was like, wow, this is all true. This is all real. Like, but if it is, and all these sacraments really bring us Jesus, and we need a priest to do that, why don't I become a priest? So I started thinking about this. This probably became a really serious thought in like 2009. So kind of give you a timeline.
And what year did you graduate? So were you graduated?
I graduated
college.
I graduated college in 2004.
Oh, so you have been out of school.
I've been out of school for 5 years. I've been working in Des Moines, doing website development, software consulting, all this time. And so my free time, I spent a lot of free time reading and trying to learn, praying, different things.
Was it scary when you had the first like inkling, like, I maybe don't want to be a web designer for the rest of my life? Like,
yes and no. It was like this. Like, I would go to a development conference every year in Omaha. So it was like a web developer type computer conference every year, and I loved that at first. But then I started going to these men's conferences, these Catholic conferences, and I started realizing in my heart that I would rather go to a Catholic conference than go to a computer conference. And when I started to recognize like my own internal kind of, feelings or where I was being drawn, I was like, maybe that's where I'm supposed to go, right? And so
that's so brave. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Well, I also knew that I could get my job back.
That's always
have a backup plan. That's a good life motto.
We'll parachute. I knew that I could get my job back, and so when I really got serious about it in 2011, and I knew I was going to quit, I was like, okay, I'm going to give this 2 years. I'm not going to just run back to my job, because I knew that they would take me back, and I just knew that wasn't they take me back right now. This company would take
You're
me
not
back right
getting
now.
him back. Whatever your bosses are, you're not getting him back. We're not doing that.
No.
Well, okay, so did your friends or family, did they like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I could see that when you shared with them, like, hey, I think I am going to have a major life change. Did
Yeah.
anybody like, I knew it.
Well, so the first people I talked to were my parents. I was working with Father Dave Schatz. I don't know if you know Father Schatz at all.
Yes.
So he was the vocation director at that time, and he was coming to Des Moines to meet with me and talk through, where I was at with things. And he said, well, you should ask your parents what they think. So I did. And both my mom and dad said, oh, we thought you should be a priest since you were about this high. I'm like, why'd you not tell me?
You didn't say anything.
They're like, well, we wanted you to figure this out on your own.
Oh my gosh. That's
We thought, if we told you that would like influence you too much, but we wanted you to come to that on your own. I was like, you let me date all these girls all this time. You could have saved me so much heartache. No, but
So they were on board.
they were on board.
Which had to be a huge relief.
Yeah. Oh, that was really telling to me to know that they really saw that in me. They thought that I could
do it.
should do it. But they just weren't gonna like influence me in that way. So that was good. My sisters, one of them was like, absolutely not. She really liked my current girlfriend at that time. And she was just like, you need to marry her and you start having kids. So my kids have, have cousins,
Yeah.
right? And then my other sister was like, yeah, whatever you want.
Sure.
So now they're both super supportive.
Oh, yeah.
And they really appreciate it. But yeah, so my grandmas, of course, loved it.
Oh, yeah.
They would be so proud.
Yeah. Varied, I guess, around my extended family varied. But most everybody's very supportive about it. So yeah, that was nice. I became a priest really just to help other people to stay Catholic, not to leave like I did, not to go through that. Also to give them the sacraments, to help them encounter Jesus in the same way I did. So through receiving the Eucharist, to going to confession, which I know is your favorite.
I enjoy confession.
I'm going to get there.
I have a confession that I have got to talk to Father Bishop Scott now, and it haunts me. When we were in high school, at homecoming, the kids always sat in the balcony, which like nobody's paying attention on the balcony. And like during consecration, I took a selfie.
Oh, whoops-a-daisy. Well, you were young. Your brain wasn't fully developed.
But like,
You're in the balcony when you did it?
yeah. Oh,
So there's no chance he saw it.
No, I really think he saw it.
Really?
I bet he did.
Yeah.
That's really
I
far
don't know.
away.
I don't know.
I was with him all last week.
I know. I was
And
like,
he never
I
brought
should
it up.
have passed on my
You
confession.
never brought it up?
Every time I see him, I like hide because I was like, oh my gosh, that one time in the balcony, I took a picture.
Let's send this episode to him.
Yes. Father Scott, Bishop Scott,
Bishop.
if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My frontal lobe wasn't developed yet.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, does that suffice as an answer?
Yeah,
That
no.
was really interesting.
Why did
Yeah.
you
You
think
ever
this?
think like, I'm a BA, like I could just do a miracle right now? Like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That is
It's
very
very cool. See, to make Jesus present like that.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
pretty awesome.
Very cool. And your dad is a deacon. Was he always a deacon, or did he become a deacon when
No.
you became a priest?
About, I don't know, 3 months after I started seminary in 2012, he said to me, hey, just want to let you know that I applied to be a deacon and I got accepted, and I'll be starting that in January. So he knew that I was applying this whole time, but I didn't know that he was applying. So the way it worked out was it was a 4.5-year program at that point, which meant that we would be ordained deacons in the same year. And at first, we were going to ordain when Archbishop Jacobs found out about that. He's like, "We're going to ordain you together in the same ceremony, ordain you deacons in the same ceremony." And then at that time I had 4 classmates. Well, then it dropped to 2, and he said, I'm going to ordain you with your classmate. He can be and then you can be the deacon at his ordination, and then he can be the deacon at your priest ordination. So that's how it worked out. It worked out pretty good. So we kind of walked that journey together a little bit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So he's a very faithful guy, very good guy. And yeah.
That's so cool. Well, now we're really getting into the hard-hitting questions. Are you a morning person or are you a night owl?
I would say I'm a night owl for sure.
Can't relate.
When I was
Can't relate either. Wrong answer.
when I was at Nativity, I had to get up at 5:45 every morning for a 6:30 a.m. mass, and that was brutal. I think I was exhausted for 5 years, so I really like being able to sleep in a little bit.
Nice. What is your sleep-in time? Like, what time? Waking up at what time to
like
you?
Today, when it was
in?
a snow day and I knew I didn't have much going on, I slept until 8 a.m.
So you're not like a maniac. You're not
No.
sleeping until like 11.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, not a maniac.
Kind of a morning person. Yeah.
You're both morning people?
Yeah. Angie's always been a morning person. Like, even when we were in high school, she'd be up at like 8 o'clock. Like, yeah, 8 o'clock was like sleeping in for her. I could
dream of sleeping to 8 o'clock now.
I used to be able to sleep until, like, my family always goes to lunch on Saturdays at Grandpa's Parlor. And I used to be able to sleep until, like, 11:30, and then, like, plan it perfectly to just get up, go to lunch. Yeah. Not anymore. No. It's like 5. I wake up at, like, 5:30 every day.
Too, so.
Yeah, same.
What time do you go to bed?
11.
Oh, that's the middle of the night.
Got a couple hours in by then.
Yeah, that's usual.
Okay, well, settles that. We'll try not to text you early in the morning. Do you have to keep your phone on all night for emergencies or no?
Yeah, I'm supposed to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mine goes off at 7:30, so if anybody texts me after that, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, next. What is your favorite food? This could also go with what's your favorite restaurant, I feel like.
I really like bacon. Bacon's
Who doesn't?
I bought stuff to make BLTs, and I almost made the bacon for lunch, and I was like, no, then the house will smell like bacon, but you would have loved that.
great smell. Great smell. I also like shrimp. I like
Sorry.
Katie does not.
You don't either.
Yeah, but I didn't let out that big. Yeah, I kept it in my head.
Sorry, carry on. So we like fish sticks.
We won't judge your answers.
It sounds judging, but that's okay.
Okay, we'll stop.
A safe space, unless you answer wrong.
And then steak. So I think those are just a lot of good meat, but then a lot of good desserts. Really not a huge vegetable guy, not a big potato guy.
Yeah.
I'll eat potatoes, but
Have you ever had party potatoes?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Next Thanksgiving, we'll make sure to save you some. We make 40 pounds.
40 pounds of party potatoes?
potatoes.
Wow,
There's
wow.
like cream cheese in it.
So yeah, I'm not that picky with food, but cold salads, I don't do cold salads. Like
That's something I can get behind.
pasta salad,
Yeah.
no thanks.
I love pasta
Coleslaw,
salad.
no.
Love coleslaw.
Yeah, but I like a lot of different foods, and found a new favorite dessert on my vacation this last week to South Dakota. It was a fire truck themed restaurant, and there was they had this giant chocolate ho-ho, basically Swiss cake roll. You know,
Yeah.
you know what these are?
Yeah.
Our waitress, when I said, is it like a giant ho-ho? She's like, I don't know what that is.
She's
Offended.
like,
She
excuse
was.
me.
She was. But it was so good. A giant, this size of your candle, plate size.
Kind of like Twinkie cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chocolate.
Like
Sure.
like Renee Till's mom and Renee make.
Yeah,
You
I
should
have
have
had
Renee's
that.
cake.
whoopie pies.
I think that's
It's the same
similar,
thing,
I
like
think.
the chocolate with the cream in the middle. Renee, you're gonna
Yes.
have to drop those
Yep.
off to Father. Get on that.
Yep. Angie and I wouldn't mind.
And
some
yeah, we'll
either.
take 5 for the Reed House as well.
Yeah, so meats and desserts. I think
meats
that's
and desserts.
yeah, that's
Okay, well now we might as well go to your favorite
oh,
restaurant.
that's right. Are you talking like more locally, more here?
Wherever.
I've been impressed with the restaurants around here. The Mexican restaurant is very good.
What's your go-to order at Mexican?
I've been doing the shrimp and crab quesadilla recently. It's really good.
Yeah.
You guys don't like
For
that?
those that like shrimp, that might be
No.
tasty.
Recently, Father went out to eat with my mom and dad and myself, and he ordered that. And
Yeah.
maybe I didn't say "Ugh," right away, but
didn't.
I was thinking it.
Yeah, you were very polite.
Maybe
'cause,
I said it softly.
The other night I went to Geronimo's,
Oh, yeah.
and the burger was enormous. It was really good. It was a really good burger. I
Are you a mayonnaise fan?
love mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is good, yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
he said mayonnaise.
you said
Oh.
Mayonnaise.
I've had mayonnaise pizza one time.
Oh,
One
my
time?
gosh.
Yeah.
Did you care?
Do you
for
like
it?
greasy pizza and greasy tacos? Or is that like... ugh?
Yeah, no, I don't mind greasy, whatever. So
Did you know this podcast is going to be so deep into?
I had no
Are
idea.
you thinking like, wow, I could have got a lot of things done back at the rectory right now, but here we are.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So,
Well,
yeah.
we got to get you back to mayonnaise.
Yeah, we'll get you to mayonnaise. It's perfect.
I've never
after-
actually been there. I've only got it like delivered. So is it better?
Oh.
better like
Yeah,
hot?
it's definitely, I would
Man.
say, one that
Have you had
need to eat
mayonnaise
it there.
tacos or only pizza?
I've not had their tacos. No.
Okay, so sometime after mass. Well, it's a little late now.
Yes.
It used to be
Only
awesome.
we had a 4:15 mass. I wasn't
When
going to bring it up.
Mass was
Katie's number
earlier
one.
on Saturdays. Mayonnaise was a great spot to hit up after mass.
Yes.
You'll
But
have to-
if you are a night owl, it
it
doesn't
works out.
bother you.
It works out for me.
But by the time you get back, it's like, 8 o'clock.
So late.
Too late. I liked this question. Ideally, how would you like to spend your birthday? First of all, when is your birthday?
November 12th.
Okay.
So I already
Oh,
had.
we missed
already
your
had-
birthday.
You did.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
God, sorry, in a new place.
Yeah.
No one knew it was your birthday. Oh.
Well, I was supposed to have. The question at one point came, "What's the school board like? When are we gonna have our next school board meeting? November 12th or November 13th?" And they looked at me, and I was like, "November 13th." I do not want to sit in a 3-hour school
No.
board meeting on my birthday. Favorite birthday would probably just be if it was. I mean, it so much depends on which day it is, but like, I guess if the day didn't matter, like if it was. any
Yeah,
just
you're ideal. Dream
Yeah,
big.
dream.
Yeah, so probably get together with my family and have like a lunch kind of cookout. Have my niece and nephews sing happy birthday to me as I eat a Dairy Queen ice cream cake. And then get together with my friends that evening and have a drink to celebrate. That'd probably be just be with my friends and family. That's
That's a good
Yeah,
birthday.
that's
yeah,
awesome.
nothing like
Would you
nothing
go
like
to
a big
church in
trip.
the morning?
I'd go to
Your ideal birthday?
start with mass. I
Yeah.
always start with mass. So
Do
yeah.
you prefer to say mass or go to mass? Like
I
go
don't-
to someone else's mass?
I'm
Do you
not
ever
sure.
go
Can
to
you do
someone
that?
else's mass?
So yeah, you can.
You can
And
go to, yeah, they can.
Well, usually they're like the co-celebrant.
yeah, usually we are.
Oh, you can't be an audience.
You can be. You can be. That's a kind of interesting thing is you don't have to, as a priest, you don't have to celebrate mass every day. You do have to pray every day. So like, I have to pray 5 times a day with the liturgy of the hours.
Did
That's
you
a,
pray that you'd make it through this podcast?
Your prayers aren't working.
Pray harder. Okay, sorry. Back to the. Okay, so you pray 5 times a day.
yeah. So I have to do that, but I don't have to celebrate mass every day. Although I want to because it feels like a waste of grace to not celebrate mass every day. So like on vacation, every day I'm celebrating mass and I'm
You can just do your own mass
yep.
in
Yep.
your hotel room.
Yep. So and like, there's only one time on my vacation that I celebrated mass by myself. The other times it was either like my sister and her husband were celebrating with me, or in the audience, the crowd, the congregation, not audience. They don't watch
I
that.
said audience. I
I
led
said
you
it.
down that.
But then last week with the bishop, then he was usually the one celebrating mass, and I was a concelebrant. there. So yeah,
Oh, it's a
So do you-
con-celebrant.
con-celebrant.
I thought it was a
con-celebrant.
co-celebrant. That makes
sense.
co-celebrant makes more sense if I
So you're never just an audience. Not what did you say?
I don't think I've ever.
like
It-
Ever since you could do your own mass, you've never sat in leisure. What about a wedding? Someone else's wedding you've gone to? Like any?
well, if it's a close
Leisurely-
person, like they want you to be part
Oh,
of
yeah.
the wedding.
Well, like I had one cousin that she didn't have me
Didn't pick
celebrate.
you.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's like, I just want him to be cousin Andy. I
Oh,
was.
that's kind of nice though too. But
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt your feelings.
It hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. So I sat there. Yeah. So,
Oh, I guess I never thought about that.
I mean, we're really only supposed to celebrate one mass a day. So if I haven't celebrated one, I want to make sure that I do get one in a day. And that's, yeah.
I actually have thought about that. That was a real question.
Yeah. Good.
My dad celebrated mass once on vacation,
Yeah.
and I might have told you this one. We were in Punta Cana, and we were in like the ballroom where the priest was going to come, and there's 20 people there, and the priest didn't show up. He got held up in Haiti,
Oh.
and so my dad took it upon himself to go up on stage, and he led everyone in an Our Father, and then he did the thing with his hand, made this giant symbol, the sign of the cross. Yeah, it was probably, I mean, it came from good intent, so I think it's fine. But like everyone just like, oh yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. Our Father Roscoe, and they all like did it. We said Our Father and made the sign of the cross, and that
Great.
was that. Headed out to the pool. So
Well, there is such a thing as Sunday celebrations in the absence of a priest. So
I
Yeah.
guess that was it.
he kind of did it. He didn't have probably the right book, but that's okay.
no books.
He-
Own book
he-
of rights.
The Our Father, that's a good
That was-
that's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
one.
But the audience or the other
Go in
members
peace.
that were just like, just didn't question a thing. Like why did you get on stage? A lot of questions.
That's funny.
This question's really important. Who are your favorite parishioners?
I thought you shouldn't put such
Yeah.
easy questions on
Don't
there.
answer
Kate.
wrong.
You two, of course.
Good answer. Good. Did that pick the mic pick that up? Oh yeah, there. Let's see, record. We're good.
No, I'm just kidding. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, you have your whole list of questions.
Yeah, I do have a whole list.
Oh yeah, she has a.
These will be kind of
quick.
quick. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. This is this or that, the Midwest edition.
Okay.
Okay. Quick Star or Casey's?
Quick Star.
Oh. Okay.
Well, we don't have a lot of quick stars around here.
But
Well,
you know, I did just get the Quick Star app because I'm working in Makokata now, and they have a Quick Star.
Oh, they do have a
so-
Quick Star?
Yeah,
Makokata?
2 Quick Stars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 89-cent cheese curds last week. Yep.
Can't
there
beat
you go. Okay, lake or river?
I've previously always been a lake guy. So
Okay, so whoever has a boat, father needs to be persuaded to the river this summer.
He said lake.
I know he needs to be persuaded to the river. He's never.
good. Show
He
him a
needs
good
someone
time.
with a pontoon.
Yes. You got to hit up the Galena River, and we might be able to change your mind on that.
okay.
That's a good summer goal.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Hot and humid or cold and snowy?
I think hot and humid at this point.
Yeah, no one likes snow. Ranch or ketchup?
Ketchup with some mayonnaise in it.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Packers or Bears?
Honestly, like Packers and Bears and Vikings behind the Chiefs. So I'm the Chiefs fan.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I cheer for all three though because they're states that are close to us. But then I'm a Chiefs fan first.
It's nice to have all those backup teams. So then when the Chiefs
Right.
aren't doing good, you have
She hasn't experienced
Someone-
a lot lately.
yeah. You haven't had to experience the Chiefs not doing good. Casserole or hot dish?
I would always
Is
say
that like the name, do you think? Do you call it a casserole or a hot dish?
because they're the same thing, right? Casserole.
Yes.
Yeah. I grew up calling it casserole.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. Culver's or Dairy Queen?
Probably Culver's.
Ooh, fancy.
But like Dairy Queen, their ice cream cake is better. But I think Culver's has better cheese curds and concrete mixers are just yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Superior.
Yeah. You are a smart man. Wow. Okay. Okay, there's 2 left. Bags or cornhole? What do you call it?
I usually call it bags.
Yeah, same.
But yeah,
Okay, final one. Walking taco or taco in a bag?
walking taco.
Oh, wrong.
Well, 9 for 10 isn't bad.
Do you have anything you want to share with us? We learned a lot about.
Don't ask us any questions, though.
No, don't ask us anything.
No, you could, but I don't know what you'd ask.
But anything that you want to share. We are pretty light and cheerful. But if there's anything
That I wanted to share about myself.
about you or your faith or.
Well, Father doesn't know this yet, but I feel like he could be a recurring guest.
Oh, what?
A recurring guest.
recurring guest.
A what?
That was a one-time thing.
I gotta up my prayer count.
Yeah, no, I mean, happy to. I think this is good. We're talking about the other stuff I do on the radio.
Yes, for those of you that don't know, Father is actually already a radio star.
I have
A couple shows.
a couple shows. Well, one is a mass, so that was really.
Yeah, but your cooking show.
Oh, the cooking show. I haven't done that for a while. Although
Can
I
you
was
tell
trying
our listeners where they can find you?
Yeah, so radiodubuque.com. You can find Father Time, which is the
Hammer time.
which is the weekly 10-minute show on 92.9 Cat FM. And we do a lot of this or that on Father Time, so it's kind of funny. That's right in my wheelhouse right here. We didn't plan this. And then I do the Mass on 1370 a.m. every Saturday night at 4 and Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. That's on 1370. And I used to do on 1370. Used to have a cooking show. I'd be on Cooking with Kay as the guest eater. I would just
You know you made it big when you're on a radio cooking show.
right.
You can't see anything. You can only hear.
Delish. I love the shrimp.
There was never actually food there. We just made it up the whole time. I'm joking. There was food. Yes, I don't know. It's good. Yeah. I like doing this stuff. So, however, a lot of the reason that I do the show on 92.9 Father Time is to be relatable. So when you started your relatable Catholic podcast, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going for too, so that the priest can be relatable. So you're being relatable. So
The real dream team we have here. A relatable dream team.
relatable dream team. That's right.
Well, that kind of leads us into a Can You Relate? Do you have a Can You Relate, Father?
I thought of one just in case you put me on the spot.
Oh, yes. Well, I can go first. Mine's really, I'm sure everybody can relate. Last week, I was at school and, it was noon, and I went to put something in my pocket, and my pants were on backwards. So there was that. Mm-hmm.
I can't relate to that.
Well, we know what kind of were they comfy pants? It
Yeah,
must have been
well,
that you
they
could
were
put them on backwards.
They were fake,
Dress pants.
fake dress pants.
Dress pants.
But
Gotcha.
much more comfortable once I fixed it.
I pretty much only was wearing dress pants, jeans, things with pockets.
And you're not a sweatpants guy.
Not usually. I've got a friend that he will wear sweatpants, priest friend, Father Tom. He will wear sweatpants literally everywhere.
That's
And-
relatable. I would say priest in sweatpants is relatable.
But we're talking we're going to the Morocco and he's wearing sweatpants. Come on,
My
now.
spirit animal. I love it.
Get us in touch with him.
I'm gonna have to introduce you then. You like Father Tom.
I forgot to think of one, actually. Sorry.
Well, yours can just be
Can you relate? Your significant other leaves and everything goes to heck in a handbasket.
somebody gets sick for
Somebody
sure.
gets sick. I feel like that's a lot of moms out there.
Yes.
Their husbands go deer hunting season. That always seems to have sick kiddos. So, yeah. Can you relate?
All right.
Okay. No pressure, Father.
For mine.
Yeah. Can you relate?
So I was going on vacation last week and driving on the road and it didn't sound so good. My car didn't sound so good.
No.
And pulled over and kind of backed up, went forward, wiggled the tires a little bit, and the front tire fell off.
And you were so far away from Fizzle.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I was over.
Fizzle, our local car guy.
I was north of Ames already by this point, headed to South Dakota. So that was.
Do you know how to change a tire?
Yes, and we grabbed the spare tire and started jack it up, and we had it up and realized that the bolts had been sheared off. So it wasn't. We weren't gonna fix that.
You were so lucky that you didn't get in an accident.
Yeah, it really was. But now I'm driving and I'm nervous all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm taking a corner kind of hard, and I'm if that tire goes off right now, I'm gonna roll it into the ditch, and for so long, I've driven so many miles and never had a concern.
Never thought about
Yep.
it.
Never thought about it, but now all of a sudden, I'm thinking about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so last night when it was really cold, I'm oh, I don't want to chance it. I can't go out in this.
My tire might fall off.
But usually
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out for the national championship game. I'm gonna go
got it.
hang out with people. But I was really nervous.
Oh.
And then it was really expensive to fix it. It was
Yeah.
$700 to fix it. And I was like, well, if I'd have just got AAA, it'd have been a lot cheaper. But then I started thinking about it. This is only the second time since I've been driving that I've needed a tow. So really, I've saved a lot of money by
You're
not
making
having
money,
AAA.
one might say.
But but just all of a sudden I'm thinking about these things that
Yeah.
I never. So I'm it's not really rational if I start thinking about okay, there's really not that much danger, but suddenly I'm thinking about it differently.
I feel like that
Can you
could be a
relate?
good homily somehow. I think you got the beginning of a homily in
there
the
we
works
go.
there.
Yeah. There's usually some good on vacation. There's usually some good homily material that comes
Yeah.
up. So yeah, but
Do you ever worry you run out of material? Holy Spirit, just
Oh, they got those Mad Libs for homilies
Mad
now.
Libs
Did
for
you see
peace.
that?
oh,
we'll have to watch that.
Good to watch it.
afterwards.
We'll link it.
Yeah, I don't usually worry about that because if I'm praying, if I'm actually listening to what the Holy Spirit, listening to what's going on in my life, usually something comes up. Listen to Katie's class.
Right.
They always give me
They
material.
always got
on-
something to talk
I
about.
can't believe they didn't tell you your pants were on backwards. You're lucky.
Well, they've got their pants on backwards half the time anyway, so I can relate to the tire thing because a few years ago the camper tire popped while we were in it. I worry now every time we go. I prefer to drive away from the camper. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, but for so long you didn't think about it at all.
Right. All right. Well, I guess Father's probably got more important things to do than sit here at
Say
my
that, but I've
at
got a
my
meeting
table.
coming up.
Oh, geez, Louise. Yeah, we better get going.
You had
Yeah.
big plans.
It's in 15 minutes. It's fine. Yeah,
Well,
we're-
we better let him go. Thank you so much for coming, Father, for
thanks having me
stopping
on.
by.
Yeah, it's great.
And we hope that we didn't scare you off, and maybe you'll join us again.
Sounds good.
Bye. And as always, we're praying and rooting for you.
Goodbye.